तो क्या है ये
Yeah.
ऐसा लग रहा है कि उसने आर्किटेक्चर डाइजेस्ट का एक ऐसे मैगजीन खोल के स्क्रीन के सामने रख दिया ये।
Bro,
This
वाओ।
is
that
this is insane.
is it a mistake? Are we should
I
we
think
not
he's
be
put
in
an
Bombay?
image. I think he's left a photograph here
ब्रो
and he's fooling us.
कितना लंबे कितना
Arey, he's using that what they use for special effects now. It's just yeah, he's using the LED screen
Dude,
and that's what he's
rent
doing.
the rent of this frame in Mumbai would be 1.6 lakhs.
या इजी
क्या है
Just this
कौतुक?
much.
हाँ that's just frame. हाँ
Just this much.
या
हाँ
Not
just
even
इतना सा space.
Oh, wow. This, for people from Mumbai to just look at the length of this. By the way, guys, if you're
Yeah.
on Spotify, you have to come and see the depth of.
Hi, hi,
Oh,
hi.
it's
Hi, hi,
real.
hi.
It's real.
hi,
It is
hi, hi, hi.
absolutely real, guys.
No, it's
It is
Oh,
just a really
absolutely
wow.
real.
good. I don't believe it. It's a very elaborate green screen. It's just very well done. Danish has been investing in really good tech.
Oh,
Okay,
it's
now
real.
he's
It is real.
Wow.
I can
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
stand here, you see. I can actually
Wow.
stand here. Yeah,
Oh, dude.
yeah. And you know, the beauty is if you look up there, it has these Mangalore tiles, which we
Of course
really
it does.
liked. And we put these glass sort of pieces between the mango tiles so the light nicely filters and comes through
Oh
there.
my
So it's beautiful.
God.
nice.
Oh,
What is
you
that
you
corner
have
for?
filtered light coming through your ceiling in between mango trees.
There's no
But
mango tree,
That's
unfortunately.
Arey,
Mango trees don't go. The
not mango
only bits
trees.
of the only bits of
mango
greenery we
trees,
have.
mango tiles. Sorry,
No,
not
there, you see
mango.
this? There is enough greenery, I think, outside the house.
You
holy.
have your own forest. Like, does it come with the house?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't come with the house. Those are
Bro.
actually my neighbors who are quite good at taking care of the trees behind, and I just love it because we live, very close to. We're in the city, so we're
Hmm.
not
No,
like
don't
really
dox
like
yourself.
cut
Don't
away.
dox yourself.
Yeah, don't
Suddenly
dox yourself.
tomorrow you'll see fans just, hey, Danish coming
No,
through the.
no, that's on that side, bro. That's on that side. That's on that side.
Oh,
So
Huh.
when I was actually speaking to my mom. She said it's been just this morning, and she said I finished 10 years in this building. So I'm the president of my building, by the way, guys.
Oh,
Oh, so you scream at children when they try to play cricket down.
Bro, there's not one child here. I'm the youngest member of this building. There are 5 apartments. My sister owns
Huh.
one. We have two, and there are 2 other neighbors. So I'm default president of the building. All
default,
the
yeah.
votes come to me. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Right.
yeah.
why are you
Danish,
letting the other two stay? Just hostile takeover, bro.
Yeah.
No, bro. So I'll tell you what, we really taking that and this is just too much headache, bro. I don't want this is enough. This is very good. This is much as enough for one person for one lifetime, I feel. But there are perks of being the president. See, for example, recently what happened, the generator of the building went. And that generator is quite old, actually. It's not like one of the new building generators, right? So we really had to fix it. So I didn't know that these guys who repair, lorries and heavy vehicles, they are the guys who can fix the generator as well. So we called someone, he came by auto, took our entire generator's machinery and went. My fear was if he doesn't come back, then what to do? Then we have to buy a new one. And I
Yeah.
don't know where the hell do you go buy for this generator machine. Then luckily that guy came back in 2 days and fixed it. And then now it's like, it's
So
a
you're a good secretary.
Yeah.
president.
president,
Like
President,
I
yeah,
sorry.
said.
please,
Oh,
please.
sorry.
See that emotion?
See, I would actually say I'm secretary because my wife is the president actually. She
President,
does all
correct.
the, she's the
Ah.
president. She's the first lady I'm the first lady of the building actually. Yeah.
Yeah. On that note, let's begin the episode in 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Internet Set. So, a show where we take random interesting videos of 5 personal stories and we talk about it. And welcome, Danish. Danish, right before we started recording, you were telling us how amazing our podcast is, how you watched every episode. What can you tell the fans watching? What do you really like about us? Like, what about the podcast keeps you coming back to
See,
watch?
I think it's the random monkey facts that bring me
Yeah.
here. I think it's the monkey facts that bring me here. Then, of course, the fact that you're the extrovert Varun, and how Kautak is this very internal writer who can tell a beautiful story. Neville, of course, is missing the father figure, and I kind of miss that.
That describes him
Once,
perfectly.
bro, 1 second. I thought I'll start by bowling a googly to Danish because I thought he has never watched us.
No,
Okay,
I
हाँ,
haven't,
ये
bro.
अगर ऐसे
I
बोल
haven't.
दूंगा,
I haven't.
but
No,
you
no,
still
I
came with
haven't.
like perfect research. That's
Because I
amazing.
heard, because I actually listened to Cyrus Says a lot. And I saw an episode of
Well
Cyrus
played.
with you and Kautuk.
Well
Then I was
played.
like, okay,
Oh.
I literally watched it this morning when I was going to work. I was seeing something. I saw you guys there and I was like, okay, fine. It'll all help later when I meet them. So I heard
And
you speak about the
Wow.
podcast. That's what happened.
Danish,
Crazy.
can I tell you, you have done more research on this episode than we have done in the entire series.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
unbelievable.
Well
See,
done.
also the fact is I know all of you, you know, I mean, like,
Yeah.
I know I've worked with Aadar, I've worked with Varun. I've read your book, man. Your book about the football player was your book,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think it was Aadar who gifted your book to me.
Wow.
I think so.
You
Oh,
gave it the
wow.
red card, it's called the red
The
card.
red card, yeah.
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah. So he gave me your books. I was introduced to you, I think, how
We
many
had
other,
done- We had done
many
a
years
show
ago.
with- Yeah, it was Kani's.
What?
You and I were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Oh,
so long ago.
you gave me the book, bro. You gave me the book.
think I
Kautuk.
gave-
You only gave
I
it to
think
me.
Kautuk
Sorry.
would have only given it. If I had given, I would have forgotten it at your house or something. That's what would have happened. I wouldn't have gone out of my way and given my one copy to just you.
No, he gave it to me. I remember that. So I've known all of you for so long. So I mean, when I saw that clip with Cyrus, I was like, yeah, okay, it's fair. I mean, these guys are essentially sticking to who they are, and that's amazing.
Awesome, bro. Thank you. That was a very different way in which I thought this episode would begin. I thought you'd be like, nahi dekha hai, kuch nahi, but so sweet, bro. Thanks. I really
Yeah.
appreciate you doing that research and saying such good things. But talking about good things, what is going on with your life? What is new? Where is Bevarsi Kudka?
Bro, comes on and off, bro. So I've been shooting for a TV series with our friends at TVF. I've been doing a show with them. Then, of course, now IPL and WPL will start. So I've been in the middle of writing for that. Then, of course, there's brands that always happen. And, out of compulsion, you have to do some video every 2 days to tell the internet you're alive. So it's almost that, right? I feel like perpetuity is gone. Now there's no perpetuity. Now there's just like you live and die every day. So the days I decide to live, I make a video. The days I don't want to do anything, I just sit down at home. That's all. But it's good. Also, parallelly, there's one conversation going on for another film, then one more film, and then you keep auditioning, you keep failing. That's one process. Varun, you know it better.
That we know very well.
Varun, you know this.
Better, Varun.
Varun, you know it better.
I know it very, very well.
So, Danish, since you are the quintessential Bengaluru boy, we thought we would get you some stuff that is from Bengaluru. This is a thing that's been doing the rounds for a while. It's a phenomena called the Peak Bengaluru Moment.
Yeah, I've seen this. I've seen this on Twitter and stuff.
Yes. So there's a lot of. So basically, the idea behind Peak Bengaluru Moment is that Bengaluru is so IT first, so technologically advanced, so many startups that you have people doing, like, it's shaped the nature of the place, right? So you have all these like very strange things. So for example,
and you have nature also in Bangalore.
Yeah.
Like
the nature and it shaped nature and the nature both. Both.
So for example, this lady walked into a hotel. Okay, and Peak Bengaluru Moment was that as she walks into the hotel, there is a iPad at the front desk, and the receptionist is sitting there virtually.
oh
wow, work from home.
So
nahi na AI hogi na.
Nahi.
Wow, which hotel is this, man? Amazing.
So what has happened is it's a chain of hotels. So the receptionist was sitting in the head office, and she was making multiple receptions of different hotels.
Which is making a lot of sense because how often are unless it's like the super busy hotel, receptions are usually chilled out. Like, actually, that's very clever.
Bro, but
well done.
Imagine walking into a hotel and your receptionist is outsourced, like sitting in head office.
Amazing.
What is stopping people from just like, okay, sorry, guess you don't want to check my ID and just fucking walking into the hotel?
That's right.
अरे लेकिन चाबी तो देना पड़ेगा ना उसको, चाबी कैसे देगा?
वो भी है.
But चाबी निकलती कैसी है? I want to know how the key is coming out, like, because they have to give the room appropriately.
No, there'll be one guy on the side for sure. I'm sure there'll be one guy on the
So there's
side
still
doing
one
all
guy.
of that.
It's just not-
There is a guy. There is a guy.
In India, you need your surface level might be oh look tech and all, but there is
Tech balls.
one guy in the corner.
Yeah.
अरे sir नहीं चल रहा है कैसे करने का बताओ.
Correct.
I love
Correct,
the
correct.
self check-in at airports. The self check-in at airports have a guy standing next to
Next to it.
doing it for you. अभी रखो,
No.
अब ये टेप चिपकाना है. अरे छोड़ो, मैं टेप चिपकाता हूँ.
This is so funny because the first time I experienced it, we were in Europe, ठीक है, और मैं मरा हुआ जा रहा हूँ. I'm at Berlin airport trying to catch my flight. I've gone there in the morning. There is not one soul at this fucking airport. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, अभी क्या करूँ? उधर automatic baggage tag, and 9 out of 10 times some little chutiagiri will happen. And the computer or whatever in front of you doesn't have the solve for it. And unlike India, there's not somebody who's there.
Who you can ask.
Who you can ask. There's nobody. They're like a machine. They just point at the machine and they start walking away. Then I came to India. Either now at Bombay Airport also they started. Okay, self check-in. I said, oh wow, I fucking love self check-in. I'll go and do it. There's a line at self check-in. Okay, because self check-in nahi ho pa raha hai. Every self check-in has a dude standing next to it. So I said, you are basically the check-in counter but standing.
Standing.
Nothing has changed.
No, we can't. We need it. We need human beings. We need. So that key guy would have been on the side, I feel.
Yeah. Dude, even the same thing happened to me in Canada. Like I remember my mind getting blown because landed in Canada, came out, and immigration was automated. So
Correct.
so you
Oh,
just walk up to the machine and you whatever type in whatever.
Oh man, Dubai.
Biometrics. Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
Dubai is scary. We were flying to the US. Dubai is scary, bro. They have a tunnel. You just walk through the tunnel and immigration is done.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell is happening? How futuristic is this?
What are you checking exactly? Like what?
Yeah.
You know,
Are
I
you
walked
scanning the
right
barcode?
past it. You know, I'm assuming they scan the eyes or something, or I don't know what. You know, usually at that US thing, you know, you stand like that
Yeah.
and the thing goes like that and then you
Yeah.
go out, right?
Correct.
Like this you stand, right?
yeah.
Now we have one like this over here. That is for security check. Here, bro, immigration, you're just walking past that, yeah, through a
Dude,
tunnel. It's crazy.
I kept until I left the airport, I kept thinking someone's going to tap me on the shoulder and be like, bro, kidhar ja raha hai?
Yeah,
Come here.
yeah. You know, like even I find Digiyatra very helpful. You know, I find
Very
Digiyatra
useful.
very
When it
helpful.
works.
Very helpful.
When it works.
Almost,
when
yeah.
it's
Come on,
open.
like
When
when it's
When the
open.
counter is open, it's great.
our T1, we do all of this. You go there, and the Digiyatra queue is really long, and people are checking. So we're like, boss, why are you checking?
Checking.
It's not working. So your
Must
Yeah.
be a
Because
rare
you're-
day, yeah. Largely, like for me at the T2 and T1 here, it's amazing because you just walk, it's so quick, it's smooth, you go there, it's all done. But I feel the adoption is very less. I feel like more people should adopt Digiyatra.
Yeah, it'll happen.
Yeah.
For sure. You know, like this Dubai airport you were talking about, my first ever time I went to Dubai airport, right? I'm talking about 2010, family holiday. We're all going for the first time. And, you know, you sort of like research, ki, hey, Dubai, this, that. So in block letters, oh, no drugs, no this. Not like I was carrying, right? But no
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
no that. So you're anyway little like, kya chal raha hai? Then we were standing in line and they used to have these hard looking guys who are standing there with guns like that. And literally, when you look at them, you suddenly start then tapping yourself. Ki, कुछ है क्या मेरे पास? Like, is there something? Is something magically going to appear and I'm going to just get taken away? This fucking Dubai airport, that scene was really scary. And now you have just this walk through, nobody's asking you why you here. No, nothing. Just put, out. Crazy.
I actually
Yeah.
had a thing with an immigration officer in Bombay airport, and I'm entering back into my country, and the first question is, "आप वापस क्यों आए हो?" अबे मैं घर जा रहा हूँ तेरे बाप मैं I want to go home. What's wrong with you? आप वापस क्यों आए मतलब क्या है? नहीं आप ब्रिटिश रेजिडेंट हो हाँ ठीक है लेकिन पासपोर्ट मेरा इंडियन है. I think he's just questioning why would you come back. I think he had some existential crisis going on.
Sir,
Poor
have you seen the
guy.
AQI right now? I'm not sure you want to.
Want to get into the country, yeah.
सर आपके लंदन के लंग्स ये हैंडल नहीं कर पाएंगे.
Okay, so the next peak Bengaluru moment, and there's a lot of Bengaluru moments from rickshaw. So we'll go through 3 quick ones. The first one is this. So this is someone's taken a picture from the rickshaw, and the driver has put this note behind his seat. The note says, "Hi passenger, my name is Samuel Christie. I am a graduate who is looking to raise fund for my startup business idea. If you are interested, please to talk to me."
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
वो भी
Wow.
startup
So
कर रहा है.
everyone
Crazy.
has a startup in Bangalore.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Christy is watching this video, or if you're hearing the podcast, you should show up at 12th Main in Indranagar. There are a bunch of coffee shops. I think all the startup people sit there.
Yeah. It's the difference. In Bombay, it's struggling actors.
They're all actors.
It is.
In Bombay, they're like, अरे यार मैं hero बन सकता हूँ.
I
आप
am
hero
the
बनने
startup.
वाले.
मैं
Yeah,
खुद
even
ही
the good ones.
I'm trying
Even
to
the good
start up.
ones. You
Yeah.
know, I there's a coffee shop called Araku, and I used to think it's a joke because I'd not gone there. I was like, okay, leave it, one more coffee shop. I'll drink coffee at home, I'm okay. And people would say all the startup guys would be there. I recently went there for a meeting with someone. It was a startup that said, let's meet each other. So I went to meet them there, and I walk in, Kunal Shah is sitting there. Somebody
Oh,
else is
shit.
sitting here. I said, this is like
A stereotype.
this is a stereotype that's happening in front of me. I was like, what is going on? But all of them seem to really enjoy working out of these coffee shops and restaurants with Wi-Fi
should-
and this and that.
You should make an app that lets people know where investors are, like Uber. So it's like, okay, if investors want to switch it on, it's like, oh, you can come meet me from this time to this
Hilarious.
time. And that's a new,
Like
now if we can get,
Tinder for
Get a
investor
sponsor.
and founder.
yes.
See, if you want talent for your company, you go to one of the IT parks, you'll 100% find enough people there. If you want investors, I think you just have to come a little bit this way into the city. If you come on this side, I think that's where all the investors sit down and they're all doing their meetings and this and that. And I think, I think they all have like these hourly meetings. They'll have one guy come sit and go, then the next guy will come. Then in between he'll do his call. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Bro,
it's
I heard
quiet.
this in
It's
Cubbon
quiet.
Park. In Cubbon Park, I've heard where they do this thing where, okay, I have time from like 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. so that I can do like 45-minute slots where these guys, I know this person, I don't want to take the name, but this person would say, okay, you come, you have 45 minutes, we'll walk around and we'll
Maybe.
jam on the idea. 45 minutes done, you're out, next guy comes in, walk around, discuss ideas, like, okay, how can we make this better? These are the contacts I need, yada, yada, whatever.
He's
And
getting
it's
his steps
nuts
in
that
also.
the entire
It's like,
city is
"Yeah,
sort
aaj
of
10,000 step ho gaya. Now it's done."
It's quite fascinating, actually. Quite fascinating.
Dude, these the startup founder the confidence that they have now, it's very unsettling for me. Like, I've never met a startup founder who didn't want to just completely change the world. Like that's where they start. I want to change whatever this is, change it.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah, but
unsettling. Like, I don't have the
I just saw an ad 2 days ago for a company. I forget the company's name. They basically made a helicopter service within the city that can get you from Electronic City to the airport in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
When? Where? Is it on? We need it.
No,
I
they're
saw
starting
it.
Yeah.
They're starting it. Yeah, they're starting it. I
what?
saw it and I was quite, I don't know what the price point is. I was checking with someone. They said, I think it's about $2,000 a ride.
It's very
Uh,
reasonable. Yeah, it's very reasonable. It's as
That's
good
how
as
much the
like,
Uber
okay,
costs.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
basically paying
I guess.
a little more than the Uber. Yeah.
Little more than Uber for sure.
Hmm.
But I saw it and I was like, these guys, the way they think, it's like writing a movie script, right? You write actor, hero descends from helicopter. You don't know how the helicopter will come, but somebody with the production will get that bloody helicopter for you. So I feel like these guys just write something and then they just know production will figure it out. It's like that.
Yeah.
So
Seriously.
they're living their own movies, but it's good. Yeah, the thing about the city is I feel that you interact and meet a lot of these people. That way your worldview also is not restricted to what you do alone. You kind of see beyond.
Yeah.
And that can be quite interesting. Like, I'll tell you, I had a great sort of, I had a fascinating experience. I met Mr. Narayan Rao, who happens to be the owner of Corner House Ice Creams.
Oh, bro, I love Corner House.
And he's such a well-spoken man, you like whatever you'd imagine an ice cream shop uncle to be like, but obviously with great acumen, a real understanding of money, where it has to be invested, so on and so forth. What a great conversation, to just speak with him. pick his brain, ask him, how the city is moving, where is it moving, because he's opening outlets everywhere. It's so fascinating. And I don't think that, or to meet someone like, like Mr. Irfan Razak, for example, from Prestige. These are all people that you actually stay in the city. And since, we've been in the city forever now, when you meet them, you realize like, they're actually really nice people who have businesses in the city and, are trying to make lives better for so many people. I feel like that is something that is enabled in this city. You get to meet some very cool people.
That's the other thing. Like because Bangalore is the startup hub, so Bangalore gets to see a lot of new startup ideas way before the rest of the country. So I remember when in 2012 I'd gone to meet some friends in Bangalore, and all of these guys were bachelors. There were 4 bachelors living in this house in Bengaluru, and we ran out of something at like 9 in the night. There's some food, Coke, some shit like that. So I go like, okay, so let's go down and get it. They like, go down and get it. That's so 2010. Hold on. Right. And he takes out his phone and he used what I first found out for the first time in my life was Dunzo.
Dunzo,
And it blew my mind. I was like, there's a man who's gone to the shop.
Brings it, Kabir is quite a brilliant person. He actually lives in a friend's building. I've happened to interact with him as well. Incredible guy, man. Incredible guy.
The thing I was saying about the founders now is also that they always have these like crazy statistics, which explain the world around you. Very counterintuitive. They'll be like, I just found out, that young people, 77% of them, they just, they like their coffee with a little bit of ice cream in it. So therefore I'm like, fuck, like, what are these? Where are you? How are you?
Data, bro. See, I'll tell you, I mean, like, I've met Bhavesh also a couple of times. He's also, bro, these guys are all actually, you meet them and you realize that these guys are on their own one trip of doing something, they are thinking very differently. But I feel like to think like that also, you have to be made of a different metal. And I feel that, in a city like this, it's good. Like the guy who you said meets at the park. It's actually quite cool, right? For that guy to walk around and meet people, fresh thoughts, nice air. Why not? I mean, might as well do it.
And you have the opportunity. You have a park. Firstly, you have a park. Like, I think the ideas will automatically flow better when oxygen goes to your face.
Just walking around, just observing good things.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I think this city that way, I think like, I've had the fortune of meeting some very successful and sort of inspiring businessmen, or even Mr. Prashant Prakash, Accel, I don't know if you've heard of Accel, but basically, they're a large venture capital firm, if I'm describing it correctly. But Prashant sir basically is invested in so many big companies, but you talk to him, and the kind of stuff they want to do for the city, the kind of stuff they want to do, it's actually changed the way I look at what I do as well.
How so?
It's very interesting, Kautuk. Actually, see, you talk to them, right? You realize that they're all trying to genuinely, of course, there is a business to build, yes. But they also want to actually add to the convenience of people's lives, right? And they know that the common man who's out there that they're making a product for, they know that he already has many tensions, many problems, many things that he's dealing with. If this can be the reason why he deals with one thing less, then we'd like to help him. And I kind of started applying that same principle and philosophy to what I do, which is basically the common man has too many troubles and tensions and this and that. With that one piece of content, if I can give him that 1 minute's relaxation or enjoyment, and if he laughs, shares it with somebody, has a conversation with someone, I think I've done my job. But, it's kind of helped me design my own purpose of why I do what I do.
Yeah. I think we would say the same even for us in doing this, right?
Like, it just became
like across the years, we've been fortunate enough to have people who watch, listen to us, who really resonate and connect with the podcast with us. And that sort of becomes your reason to keep coming back. You know what I mean? It's not that, oh, you're making a buttload of money. Yeah, you want to make money, you want the fame, all of that. Yes, I'm not saying no, we all need that. but fundamentally what you keep coming back for is to hear that person say that, hey, you know what, you guys really make a difference in my life in any way, shape or form. And if that you are able to touch somebody, that becomes a big enough reason for you to just keep coming back, even if the success is not too high, but that to wake up and be like, no, I want to continue doing this. I think that becomes a very, very big reason. To add to this, I actually want to mention this. You had told me a long time back, like you're one of the most sought after people for brand collabs, right? Because you're giving a certain value back at them, and you have all the bigger brands coming. But I remember 3-4 years back, you were actually doing very hyper local Bengaluru brands, whether it's a specific a restaurant that you help promote, or there was this supermarket. And I remember having the chat with you at that point where
Touch
nobody.
wood, bro. I've done Empire. I've done Corner House. And these are all like legacy brands in this city. And I hope someday. I in fact got a call from this gentleman called Sandesh, who owns a very popular dosa place called CTR. Unfortunately, it didn't move at that end, but I would love to do something there and with Nagarjuna. I want to do these. I'm waiting for when it will come.
Yeah.
Free also I'll do it, because sometimes you just want to
This is unlimited. Just unlimited supply of food through the year. It's like whenever I come in, I need food. Yeah.
And the thing is, like, see, with these kind of brands, right? They're so tied to the city. When you do something with them, the nostalgia that you evoke, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And the fact that these legacy brands that are run by dads and uncles and so on and so forth, and when they give it to the next generation, and when they want to take the brand forward, and when they think that you are the person who can work with them, that's really, it makes me so happy. Yeah, makes me so happy. Yeah.
Do you have a startup idea that you would like to fund or get made, or?
No, yeah, I'll tell you, I think I was very young, and this is early on, right? When all of us started content creation and little bit we saw money, all of us wanted to diversify and didn't know where this was going to, end up. I wouldn't have thought, like, I don't think any of us would have thought like that we'd survive 15, 16 years doing this. Right? And I remember early on, I wanted to start something with Belgian fries, and I wanted to put up kiosks at malls. And my mom broke it down to me, and she said, my mom used to run supermarkets, right? So I remember her telling me that, she said, beta, business is not just made by products. It is made by the person who's making those products.
Yeah.
And she said, if you are not there handling day-to-day operations, believe you me, you can put the best people in charge, but it will not work. And I realized that that is not my primary love. So today, with what I do, I'm very much involved every single day. It's constantly, I'm there. I never break away from it and believe that somebody else can come and run this for me. Today I have friends who write with me. I pay them to write with me. There's a whole ecosystem. There's a shooting team, but still we sit down together and figure shit out. It's, I'm very much involved, and I think that's what makes the business grow. So I don't think I can ever break away from this, because this is all I know how to do, and this is something that I'm really
that's something Kautuk really told me. Like, Kautuk hammered it down for me. It's like, dude, the day you decided to just fly down and sit on my couch with Varun and me and Neville, we suddenly just had 2 shows just created out of thin air. Just sitting together, just making some shit is just, it's going to be awesome every day.
Yeah, I remember when I was with like the taglines, right? You read the tagline of a company sometimes, the motto of a company, right? You sometimes read it and it just passe. You just see it and you go, okay, fine, maybe it just fucking is just a good line. It means nothing. So when I used to work at the event company, they had a tagline that said, and things begin to happen. And I realized that, it's so powerful, it's something that I also hold very true, that when you get together good people, and when you get together people who just want to do something, things begin to happen. It just happens. I don't know how, like the way you told me your story now, it's like, and things begin to happen.
Yeah. And like, I think one of the other things that's happened to me is, the older I get, the more I have this appreciation for what the humanity of people, it shines in
100%.
very odd ways. Like and
Terrific.
yeah,
Terrific.
to recognize that for the potential or whatever it is quite a unique thing. Like it's crazy how scenes build. You don't realize it at the time. Like I'm thinking back to the comedy scene in Bombay. At the time, it's just people having fun, and in 10 years' time, it's like a
It's an
business has been
industry.
built upon it, and
Yeah.
Yeah, it's become this business that we have to learn. We've not. It now. There are times where I'm talking to a lawyer more about my special than other comedians. It's like अच्छा ये line आप ऐसे क्यों नहीं बोल सकते? Because ये ऐसे लिखा गया है because it's funny in this way. हाँ, but like what if you don't say this and say no, it's funny because of the. How do you explain that to a law?
yeah, when
Like
I
तू
was
अपना
doing it
काम
at
कर, मैं
the
अपना काम
open
करूँगा.
mic in a coffee shop 7
हाँ.
years ago, it was totally fine.
Yeah. One
So,
thing was
okay.
that now a lot of people in Bangalore, like this one dude, there's a Bangalore, the court, actually gave a compensation to a dude for not being able to find a wife on a matrimonial app. They, they compensated him with $60,000.
Ah.
Saying, your app has committed to finding a wife. This guy didn't find it, so he sued the company.
And I love how you're 60,000. That's what
Must be his membership. Must be his membership fee, I feel. I think that must have been his membership fee or that premium account you would have bought or something like that, I feel.
Wow. Huh.
No, so like, is it like I can't if this goes through, there's going to be a lot of people standing in line outside this app shop and say, "भाई अपने को तो मिला ही नहीं कुछ, मैं तो right swipe कर करके थक गया हूँ."
Bro, Bumble पे कितने केस होने वाले हैं यार कि years I have tried, not one person.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes.
दूसरा ऐप कौन सा था which is related to proximity? It's like नहीं, I've been following this girl for. It's like, dude, you're stalking. You're not following. Why is this? You're admitting to a crime while trying to sue a rating company.
Crazy.
It's wild. It's wild. It's wild. But I feel like people also, this whole marriage thing and all that stuff. I don't know how they do it, man. I really don't know. The other day I was at this coffee shop called Lavon. And Anya and I were having breakfast. And right beside us, there was this wonderful, I think they were meeting for the first time. I think it was arranged, and they were sitting and having a chat. I think the guy was from the US. Please, at one point I stopped talking to my wife and I was focusing on that conversation. It's weird, I know, but what to do, right? Like I just told her, like, 1 second, please, let me just hear that and then I'll come back to you. So I think he was in the US and she was planning to relocate, and they were trying to figure out, who will do what, how will she move? Is she okay? She's like, he's like telling her, no, see, you don't have to cook every day. Even I cook. I know how to make roti and 3 kinds of sabji I know how to make. So she's saying, okay, on that side. It was so sweet, it was so nice.
Now I'm
But
going
it
to
was
ruin
just
this
two of
story.
them, right?
Yeah,
it was just two of them. Like, so they get to figure it out.
Yeah.
There was this one place in Mumbai, okay? It's called Radhakrishna or Ramakrishna Hotel, okay? Where it's over the years become a place where families meet. But so it's not bride and groom. It's bride, and then there's brother, sister,
they have a special
got it.
sofa. They have a special
They're all there.
sofa.
First, they're all sitting.
They have an L-shaped sofa. How many of those? Many, is it?
No, when it starts, it's first them. They're all sitting like that, and then the groom would be or could be groom and his family enter. Then they all sit. Massive lamba table, okay? Then they all say hello, yeah, and then
very good.
Other table, then they all get up except the bride and groom, and they go and sit on the other table.
The rest of the
and
family
how many
watching them.
That's the startup idea. Spaces for family to meet.
Yeah.
Spaces for families to meet. See, that's a startup idea right there. I don't know if it will work. It seems like a horrible idea, but maybe it will. I don't know.
And then the bride and groom are sitting and talking to each other, and the whole time they have to keep looking there because the rest of the family who's on the other table is still staring at everything, and they're like fucking 5 feet away, and they're just staring. So they have this weird awkward conversation. Then groom gets up, boy gets up, leaves. And then 15 minutes later, another guy and his family have come. So does it end at one? And this poor girl who has to pretend to eat this food because she's already done eating, but she has to sit there, kuch to karegi, to khana
Oh
khane
no,
ka.
the girl stays the same. She's like the
All is
investor.
the same. The dude
And
is
it's just
changing.
people pitching their startup
Bro,
ideas one after another with
So
the
equivalent is there. I'll tell you, equivalent one was there in
family.
Bangalore, not with weddings, but with government paperwork, right? There's one place called Eden Park, which is very close to Vidhan Sauda, the thing. So all these buggers will come sit down over there, bro, for lunch. You'll see all these guys, you'll see lawyers also, you'll see those, those assists, like like you see Manjunath, right? On that show, Manjunath, Manjunath type people will be there. So full one dealing will be going on over there. Okay, you do like this, you do like that. It's crazy, bro. Crazy.
Yeah, that's a startup I would want to be a part of. Like where the startup is that this app will tell you how much bribe you have to pay to get your work done.
I think there is one. Somebody tried to start it.
Like it should, this is the way that you have to get this particular
But
job.
bro, I think that, I mean, just like, the subject of bribes, I don't know. I'm just saying, I feel like they should just, how do I put it? Yeah, like those guys
Put it
also.
build it into the cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just like how you keep your credit card at a hotel, like you just put like a first charge. वो लोग 5,000 रुपया तुमसे रखते हैं ना when you check into hotel, sir, incidental costs or whatever. वो पहले से when you get your driving license, it's just there. It just keeps going. It's like you can just authorize the payment to go out.
Okay.
Speaking of bribes, there's Karnataka police has been doing something extraordinary for, how these massive lorries and buses just keep honking, and it's those horrible honks which are just fucking annoying fucking horns. So these police officers have been taking the drivers out and making them listen to their horn. They make them stand in front of the bonnet. And we're like, अब तो सुन साला, अब मैं हॉर्न बजाएगा, अब तो सुन.
Bro,
this is third degree, no?
Yeah.
We're witnessing third degree torture.
Crazy. No, but I imagine, bro, how fried those cops must be if they were getting people to do this. Imagine how fried they must be with those sounds. Saying, fuck you, come listen and see how it is. If you like the sound of it.
All day in the sun, yaar. It's so tough.
It's crazy.
But what a great hack. What a great hack. What would they do that in Bombay if they had to?
Dude, I have a feeling it'll increase the number of horns because the guy will be like, oh, it is annoying. Cool.
No, I think we should do that with the road builders who are responsible for making our roads and make them drive in a broken suspension wala gaadi onto the khaddas and back and onto the khaddas and back.
For that guy should be able to leave his house now. I was there in Bombay now. My God, man, the amount they've dug that city up. I came back, I told Ane, I said, An, every road, I said, you can't go in from any. We were shooting in Mud Island. They're doing white topping, I think, on that side. White topping and this and that. So the whole road is like, like that it is.
But bro, why don't you ask us before you go to Mud Island? Never go by road. You take the ferry.
Yeah.
Next time.
It cuts 1.5 hour travel time and you'll be there like without any tension.
No, these production guys put me up at the Retreat Hotel, which is there.
Yeah, you can still go. You can still take the ferry from Versova.
That side, right? Okay. This time what I did was I drove to that hotel in the night.
Arey, buddy, like you'll age 4 years by the time you fucking reach Mud
Island. I have.
Yeah. Okay, so the next Peak Bengaluru moment was someone took a video of this guy who was on his scooter. Okay, now the reason he took this video was because as this man is on his scooter, he has his laptop open in front of him and he's on a work call.
Must be. Yeah, I've seen that picture. Quite commendable. I mean, we should salute that man. What else can I say?
Yeah. Bro, Narayan Murthy called. He's been hired in Infosys. He's like, bhai, tu 70 hours se bhi zyada kaam kar raha hai because apart from office hours, even your non-office hours, you are working. You're
See,
hired.
I wish they told us where that scooter was going. You know, it could have either been going to Infosys or to L&T, depends.
Yeah. And on the side, he's got a phone which has an Uber app open also. तो पीछे public बैठ रहा है और जा रहा है two-wheeler पे. He's wearing multiple side hustles, bro. That's how you do it.
Commendable. We should salute that man.
Okay, going to another mode of transportation, and I think this was Bangalore based at some point. It started off as that. Indigo. Indigo was Bangalore based, na, initially.
No. Aircraft?
Yeah, the company.
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Because I think around the time must be Bombay or Delhi, I think. Because we had Kingfisher Airlines, right? Over here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got something.
I don't know
from
if it happened
Kingfisher.
around the same time. I'm not any
I've got
airline
something from
expert.
Kingfisher as well. This is Bangalore innovation at its peak. So, guys, you know how convenient instant coffee is. But then sometimes you're like, अरे यार beer पीने का मन हो रहा है, लेकिन beer की दुकान बंद हो गई है. So Kingfisher had launched instant beer sashes.
Wow.
Amazing.
Wow.
Like
That's
a pour over beer.
Yeah, I think it tanked horribly, but whatever it was, at some point I just randomly came across an ad for Kingfisher instant beer, or it might just be a sketch, which is hilarious. I've been fooled. So good job, whoever made that sketch.
yeah.
Or the
'cause-
product. Wow, we have suddenly
Yeah.
fireworks and all coming, bro.
This
Okay. So
Ah.
we should talk about this. I think we were speaking about this before we started. But there's one very famous picture that someone took, Peak Bengaluru moment, where it's again taken from inside a rickshaw. And the reason they took this picture was because when it came time to pay, the rickshaw driver was like, wait, here's how you can pay me. And he's got a digital watch and he's put his QR code on the watch.
On that watch, huh?
And he's just like holding it back.
best.
And the thing, we were talking about the fact that in Mumbai, like you still have very few rickshaws.
Adoption is very little as compared to here, and I can tell you 100%. I can tell you the auto drivers, the taxi drivers here are on point. They've adopted UPI like crazy over here. The adoption is crazy in this city.
No, but I only wish Bangalore taxi and rickshaw would have adopted a meter.
Yeah.
Why it's not there? What?
We have
There's
one.
never a meter on a
We have
Bangalore
one.
rickshaw.
1 second. You go and ask for rickshaw to go from A to B. You will be charged $50. I go with mine. The same thing is $100. He can tell the difference. There's no meter. But in Bombay, you go anywhere. It'll take you ages, but you'll go by meter.
Yeah, that is true. In Bombay, we use the meter. That I know. That is quite. That even I find very interesting. Here, I don't know, bro. I mean, I personally drive here. I haven't taken.
You're haggling. Arey, 150. No, 200. Arey, 175. Okay, not yours or mine. 235. Chalo. All are the important. What I agreed to.
Inflation adjusted.
Yeah. Then we had there was a sign that was put up somewhere where it said, "Sorry, no discount. Owner has EMIs and rentals to pay."
What a good way to do emotional blackmail, which is not actually wrong. It's like, dude, मेरे को भी
true.
पैसा देने का है. तू क्या उल्लू बना रहा है मेरे को?
Like
Hey,
he
but
just
like-
told you the reason, man. He's just like
But-
straight up.
And that's funny because I remember when I was in the US, used to see a lot of obviously homeless people, right? And then 9 out of 10 times you'll not pay this, that. The one time I paid was because the guy had a very honest placard that he had in his hand. He's like,
What did it
"Yo,
say?
not gonna kid, need dollars, okay, for weed." So automatically you're like, "अरे भाई क्या सच बोल रही है? ये ले $5."
I know where my money is going.
Yeah. You want
Yeah.
to see that your money is being put to, like, whatever is being committed to you, it's going there. So it's good.
Yeah, cause. The cause is important. The cause is important.
So yeah, do we have any more?
और कुछ Bangalore?
एक और था, which was
हाँ.
so there was a lorry that was on the road.
हाँ.
So on the back of this lorry, there was a sticker that said, "Caution, I have learned to drive from GTA Vice City."
Oh no. So he'll just come out of his car and just steal yours at any point.
Enjoyable.
It's quite possible because I feel like, there's a strange mix of pop culture in this city that kind of travels
Yeah.
across generations. It somehow just travels. Somehow. I don't know how.
Yeah.
But I've realized over here, I feel like, even like, for example, I go to the lake close by. I have a lake close to my house. I go there for a run. Alsur Lake, yeah. I spoke to you that day when I was at the lake, I told you. So when I'm at the lake, people over there, you see these boys playing football and stuff like that. They're all wearing essentials and all that. And it's not the original one, but the fact that he's wearing essentials, I'm quite amazed. I'm like, wow, like look at the way this pop culture has traveled. I think a large part of that is the internet, kids, the younger gen. Most of them go to colleges, this, that. They'll go somewhere, pick it up, come back, teach their parents. It's amazing.
Bangalore overall has this vibe. Like, as people coming from outside, apart from Bombay, if there's one place, you ask any comedian, anybody who's out touring, performing, apart from their own native city where they live, the other place on everybody's mind where everybody wants to come is Bangalore. Like, there is something about the overall vibe in the city, how, like, apart from like the native Bangaloreans, but like the other people who migrated from Delhi, Bangalore, Bombay, Pune, wherever else, they've sort of assimilated and found this really nice common ground in Bangalore, which overall culturally is a vibe. Like, nobody has a bad time in Bangalore. Like, when you go perform, nobody's worried about what sort of set should I do. Will they understand this? Will they like it?
I've heard that a lot.
You just go into the city.
Dude, Bangalore was so much fun to perform stand-up in because Bangalore was the first place to have pub culture. So then that was the first stepping stone for us to just enter and do shows and this and that. Chota sa stage laga diya, everybody's drinking, having a good time, and you're doing stand-up also. So it's like you've already got the right crowd that you want. And it's these working professionals in there like 25 to 40, and it's like perfect stand-up audience.
Yeah, possible. That's quite possible, actually. That's quite possible. Because see, Kenny started here, Biswa started here, Kannan started here.
Yeah, all of them were there. Correct.
Sumuki started here.
Sumuki started there.
A lot of these, a lot of the comedians started here, no? So I feel like that, of course. I mean, you're right. I mean, I just feel like pop culture just travels. Also, the other thing is, I've realized, I mean, like most people, I think the aspiration is to say that, we will, and that's why I think, and that's why I'm a big proponent of not just, I'm a big proponent of the schools and colleges that every city has, because I feel like it brings people from all walks of life into one sphere, like, and it kind of, what the output is people like, there might be people like us who are doing, an offbeat career path. There might be somebody who's, in a IT company doing a job there, somebody who's a lawyer, somebody who's, sports person, it kind of produces all kinds of people. And I feel like what happens is in a city like, in Bengaluru, I think what happens is a lot of people work, they send their kids to colleges, they work hard, they pay their college fees, they send them there, the kids go there, they meet different kinds of people, and I feel like that social bridge which is there, it kind of just collapses because then you just become friends.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that aids, right? So when you see something like, I've seen Vice City behind a truck, you kind of realize the journey of that sticker can be quite fascinating of how it got there. Because I remember there used to be, I don't know if you guys had this over there, but we had this guy with a black hoodie like this back in the day. He was very popular. Then No Fear, sticker, one guy like this.
No Fear.
No Fear was huge. And I remember seeing No Fear back then, like I'm saying. Then, of course, the quotes keep getting crazier. Like, chase goals, not girls.
Yeah. I saw one recently. If you're bad, I'm your dad.
But that is from KGF. That's from KGF, I think.
Oh, okay.
That's from KGF, the film. If you're bad, I'm your dad. I think it's from KGF, I think. From KGF. So they get all these lines, bro. Somewhere pop culturally, even in the movies, it comes out, you see a big movie, big star says something, next thing you know, it's behind an auto or a bus or whatever. So these guys, even auto drivers, have many fun things I've read. Like, I think The funniest thing I read was trust snake, not girl. You know?
Why?
The,
What is
the
a snake?
backstory to some of
I
these
don't care
quotes.
about the girl. I'm sure like the girl, whatever, वो कुछ हुआ होगा. I want to know what the snake did to gain his trust to this level.
Bro, yeah, exactly. That guy saying this because he's not dated a snake yet. He
Yeah.
has only dated girls. He has not dated snake. He would be saying otherwise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then he updates the sticker. Sorry, I was wrong. Trust only mongoose. This one is again very peak Bengaluru moment. Basically, this is the headline, right? Engineer works as Rapido driver on weekends to talk to new people.
Bro, I've seen that
Wow.
happen. I've seen that happen. I've legit sat in cabs where the person driving has been, some engineer who's either hustling and trying to get like a double income, or I've met a cab driver who's, just come into the city, is looking for a new job and is just in the middle of this pursuit right now to keep things going. Some of the conversations you have are just mind blowing, man. I've witnessed that, and I can tell you that happens. 100% that happens. I've had auto drivers who are like, I used to work and then I just left and now I'm doing this. Amazing.
Yeah. No, what I like about this guy was he was very clear. He's like, look, I have this. He works at Microsoft or something like that. He has a job, and he's like, I'm just not hanging out with enough people.
Fair enough. Lovely. Lovely.
Guaranteed conversation, guaranteed meeting people.
But what a as peak a Bengaluru moment as it can get. Guy works at Microsoft but doing second job to just meet people, learn more, and probably then go and apply it in his life/job. Crazy. But see, just hearing you say you're like you started off as an RJ, then you done improv, you're an actor, you produced a movie, you're writing, you're like 95 different characters. Like where does it start? Like how did you know you could do this shit? Like was it very early on, or is something you just being like, chal try karta hu, dekhte hain what will happen?
No, actually, I don't remember at any point having any other plan in mind. Like with all of us, right? I'm sure even for you, all of us are the same, right? We just decided we'll do it, and somehow it became a career. I feel. I used to be
there was this. No, but like I remember you being in hospitality, and that's how you ended up in radio. Like, have you mentioned that story ever?
Not hospitality, bro. I actually, you know what? I finished college and college and all. I used to do a lot of these plays and right, like imitating one teacher. Same shit, bro. That y'all also like making the class clown basically.
Yeah.
Then when I finished, I actually interned at Saatchi and Saatchi. I wanted to first do advertising, so I started copywriting. I didn't enjoy that. Then I went and did 1.5 months of live television. You've seen those TV channels that they'll say, okay, TV ka volume kam kijiye, kya bol rahe ho aap, and all that stuff, right? So I did that in Kannada. TV volume ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಮ್ಮ ಹೇಳಿ ಯಾರಮ್ಮ ನಿಮ್ ಜೊತೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಅಮ್ಮ ಏನು ಊಟಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಿತ್ತು ಇವತ್ತು and all that stuff. I did that stuff. Then I got bored of that, and then I joined events. So there I worked for about 1.5 years, and I used to do, so every event company, they have these guys who essentially recommend artists. So there'll be a guy who will make a presentation, where he'll put comedians, he'll put Varun's picture, he'll put Adar's picture. Say there's something like a panel discussion, and then he'll be like, let's get Kautuk, he might, have something to say. So I used to be that guy. Then when I would make those presentations, I would basically feel very bad that, you when you feel like you should be the guy on the presentation versus the guy making the presentation. Yeah. I think around that time, luckily, I had already started hosting events at malls and, these floats and all that. So many years ago, in fact, when floats. My first event was actually on a float. So, Temptations had happened. Shah Rukh Khan was producing Temptations. Remember? So that for that show in Bangalore, I think about 2007 or 2005, I think that was. Must be 2005, 2006. There was a float, and I had to be on that float at the mic, just going around the city, just going around on that bus, telling people buy tickets and go see, Shah Rukh Khan, Zaid Khan, and all of them live. So I did that. So anyways, many years of doing events and this and that. Finally, somebody called me from a radio station in Bahrain. And it came through my cousin, who basically recommended my name as a guy who likes to talk and could do this potentially. So they called me and they said, would you like to come join us? Do you have any experience? And obviously I lied. I said, yeah. Radio, what is there? How much radio I've done till today? So
I've
they said,
spoken
okay,
before.
come. I've spoken
I've
before.
spoken.
I have. So then I went there, and I think it started there for me. Basically, when I started doing it, at first I was horrible at it, and then I slowly started getting better. And by the time, I mean, I like little bit matured out of what that learning phase was, and I wanted to be professional by that time. Luckily for me, you know Darius, Varun, you also know Darius.
Yeah.
I got in touch with Darius. I wanted to come back home. And then Darius hired me and he mentored me when I was with Fever then. And I never had a full radio show, you know. I was actually never a radio jockey in this city. Never.
Oh, so it was always in Bahrain.
I did radio jockeying for 1 year in Bahrain. I came back to the city. I used to be the station producer. So I used to be the station producer for Fever 104 FM Bangalore. Zakir used to be the station producer, evening show producer at Fever in Delhi.
Oh.
So
Nice.
of course,
So did you
Zakir
guys
is
know
like,
each other back then?
global. We used to host all the annual days together, both of us. So they would take us, and you know that typical that North Zone, South Zone, East, West, whatever.
Yeah.
They'll be like, Delhi guys, make some noise. Then those sales guys will blow a whistle and then they'll go present and be like, this year in programming, we made many things. Then they'll show whatever shows they did and all that stuff. So in the evening, they used to have the fun awards and all of that stuff. So Zakir would host it. I would host it. There was another guy from Kolkata called Shayon. There's another actor in Bombay, Abhilash Thapliyal. He's also there, right? Abhilash also was there. He used to do the breakfast show. Very talented guy. So we all had a good time. Glenn was there at that time. So we would all have a great time. And I would only do
crazy to see the trajectory that you have, right? People you met like in 2007, 8, to just see the growth that you all have had. Now you've come to a stage where each of you all doing really well in your field. That's what, man. Like that nostalgia of it is also great, because at that point in time, you never thought you would be doing half of the things you're doing right now, right? It wasn't even oh yeah, maybe I'm going to be doing this at this hour. No, I never thought I would be a stand-up comedian or, other such. And just to see that growth, it's fun to just reminisce about that time and again.
Yeah, it is. And especially, like I just met Zakir recently. We were in Dubai. I happened to meet him. And I was so happy to see him. I gave him a hug and I said, I watched Drake live at the Madison Square Garden. And when I saw your poster, it made me so emotional. It just made me so happy for him, because you see where people come from, right? I mean, forget the part where he got viral and this and that and all of that stuff. All that is a dream in any which case, right? But when you think about where he started from, because there used to be a guy called Nitin, Kurafati Nitin. He used to produce his show. And at that time, I think if somebody had seen him from outside and said, this guy will be this
at
big
Madison
one day.
Square Garden 15 years
I don't think
later.
I don't think Zakir would have given himself a chance. I mean, I often say this, that with what has happened with our lives, I often say that if I had to ever ask God for these things, I don't think I would be able to put down this list of things. Do you all ever feel that way?
100%. 100%. Like none of us, like we all grew up watching stand-up comedy, right? Never in your wildest dreams you thought that you would take that up as a profession.
Yeah, and actually do it.
Actually do it. You thought you'd do it like, I'll try it out, time pass, and then go back to doing some other job. Even though it might not be a desk job, but definitely not a stand-up comedian as a profession. Who would have thought podcasts would become a thing? You would eventually end up doing this at 15 years later and see the kind of success that you have. But
because to 2012, no, Varun, 2012-13, I used to do these prank calls.
I know those.
Which they still air. Some of them.
Yeah, they still air. They
like
still
listen.
on Instagram and all that stuff. It still circulates still. When I used to do those prank calls as well, at that time I used to upload my stuff on SoundCloud. Okay, and I would then share them to Facebook.
Correct.
So I kind of Yeah, it was only Facebook then, right? So I remember doing that, and it would travel and come back to me on WhatsApp, with people telling me you should do a call like this, because somebody would chop off the name from the top and the
Yes.
bottom of who
Yeah.
did the call and
Yeah.
just circulate the call itself, and people would send it to me. In fact, if I look up, I don't know, man, you might actually find it. There's a tweet that Tanmay did and bitch the prank calls out. Huh?
Dude,
There is a
I remember your
tweet.
prank call so vividly because I would
I
actually
reminded Tanmay actually one day. I told Tanmay, I said, Tanmay, you remember doing this? And he laughed. He said, I don't know what was going through, man. I don't know. I can't find it. It's not there. It's somewhere there. I remember Tanmay kind of tweeting about it. I thought at that time it was huge, right? Tanmay, but tweeting, I was like, my God. I mean, good or bad, whatever, something. He's at least noticed and he's saying something, right?
Yeah. No, so I was telling you about
Yeah.
prank calls, right? I remember listening to your prank calls and my friend sending me your prank call saying, I told you, bastard, you should have recorded yours because
I used to.
I used to do a whole bunch, but not as something that I'm shooting and putting up. It used to be when me and my boys would sit and at night we were sitting, kuch to karna hai time pass. I was also class clown, group clown. So I've taken out the phone and I used to call the toll-free helpline of this cell phone provider. Okay. And then tell random problems that I have, which obviously they can't solve. Like I've called up, I won't take the name, Vodafone. And then, they would answer and I'd be like, what do I do? My battery is dying. My battery is not working. So he's like, wait, I'm a cell phone provider. I can't help you with battery. It's sounding very lame now, but it used to be such extended pranks. Once I pretended to be in the car and I have pretended to cry to the cell phone provider hotline.
Oh.
Okay. In hindsight, I feel like an asshole, but this actually
You
happened.
should have panicked her then, panicked him or her.
No, there was a dude. Okay, so I've told this dude, and dude is very sweet. He's trying to calm me down. Then I pretend to become a cop who has come and stopped this guy who's crying on the street. So now that has escalated. Then I've spoken like the cop. Then a bystander has come in. I've changed my voice. And now when I think about it, sorry, by the way, that happened. But nowadays, when I think about it, a lot of your initial practice, trying to do characters, voice modulation, because I've not been professionally trained. It just, you keep doing it and you sort of pick it up. And now I realize that's where I've picked it up. It's all the fun and time pass you do with your friends, family that eventually finds its way into your work. I'll give Vicky's dad, my friend, is based on a friend's dad. Okay, my friend Puneet, his dad, every time we used to go to his house, he would say, "Bede chawal kha lo." That's it. Bete chawal kha lo, but he would say, "Bede chawal kha lo." So I would keep doing, "Arey uncle hamesha bolte hai, bede chawal kha lo." So the voice has come from there, not his persona, just the voice. And then I've reverse engineered.
But he's also helpless, like Vicky's dad, always giving money.
He's one of the coolest guys.
Just throwing money at his son.
Helicopter
But
Bichara, he sounds helpless, that father sounds so helpless.
That's the thing I gave Vicky's father. But it stemmed from something that happened in real life. So how many Bevarsi Kurkas do you have in your life? Where did that come
see, I grew up in this area in Domblur. Okay, it's a little further on that side. I grew up in Domblur, and at that time, my mother used to run a supermarket on 7th Cross. And we used to have all kinds of customers, right? The beauty of a Kirana store.
Yeah.
Or a shop, right? I call it a supermarket. It sounds fancy, but it was just a shop, It's just that people could walk in, and it was one of those experiences back then. Earlier, I'm talking about 95, 96. I'm talking about that time, And customers would come, and the number of people I'd interact with in that space was insane. I sometimes, in fact, now sometimes I sit at home and I'm like, I don't think I go out into the real world enough. As a result of which, the kind of things that I get from the, from meeting people, I often feel that's something that I don't have time to do, and I somehow want to do that. It's like there's some joy in picking up those experiences because you don't know where it'll all come one day and boom, be in front of you,
Correct.
And also, when you, I want to ask you this, when you play these characters, right? It also changes your perspective, your point of view when you're in that character, right? Does this happen? It does, right? Your worldview almost becomes similar
to
who
that
you are portraying.
person, right?
Yes.
To that person. Like, I have two characters that I genuinely enjoy doing. One is this, Didi and Jaya. I have
cool.
a house help called Jaya, and there's Didi. And
Yeah.
Didi, is worried about the larger things, like, like I just did something on AI and DeepSeek, right?
Yeah.
And Didi is like, oh, my Nvidia shares have fallen. And Jaya's simple question is, "Kyon Didi, aapko AI nahi bola, dusra AI aane wala hai." Right? It's like it's very honest, but it's like, I feel like the ones like that house help character, what I've done is I've empowered her with so much common sense that somebody who, though is paying her salary, she might not have.
Correct.
So I think I've just kind of shifted that. And that actually telling you, yeah, it just happened over a period of time. Honestly, I didn't know, a lot of rules of comedy and society.
You just
like
throw shit
Panchika.
at the wall and see what sticks, right? Like, and if this one
Yeah.
sticks, you're like, okay, fine, I'll do it a few more times. And 10 times later, you're like, wait, it's done. Like the first time, literally, when I did Vicky for the first time, I just did it. Okay, I didn't think too much. I used to do it as part of stand-up earlier. And then I tried to do it. I sent it to a few people. They said, nahi chalega.
I remember this.
What,
said-
what did they say?
Nahi chalega.
Nahi chalega.
Yeah, won't work. Won't work. So I suddenly like, fuck, I had full plans. I was going to release it today. Now these people whose opinions I value have actually come back and said, nahi chalega, or not given like very good this. And I literally held back on it for 2 days. I was like, wait, yeah, but I really believe in it. I feel that. And when I started doing it, I started thinking so much from a Wiki perspective that you can ask me anything and I will respond like Wiki. And
like Wiki would.
Not just the voice, like his
thought
entire
process.
backstory, his thought process, where he grew up, his friends in school. Like I've thought it that far out.
Do you still do that? But when you go out for a meal and all that stuff, do you guys do that? Like I know I've had. I think Aadar and I have done this a lot while sitting at restaurants. So, we were doing this tour. So we were traveling together during improv. And we would sit down and you remember Aadar, we would see people.
We would sit
and
as
just
characters. Yeah, we would sit as characters. Or like just notice
see
people.
Notice people and give them a backstory, like.
Yeah. Yes.
Like I love doing that till now. I just love doing that.
They would end up in shows. If we are joking about it and somebody particularly made us laugh, we're like, acha, now I'm going to get this to the show and try to see if Danish loses it in a live show. Okay, Arey, why did you get this guy who was being angry at the waiter and just being a dick?
My wife, we love doing this. Every time we're out, we love people watching. And
that's
and
beautiful.
I love, and I love just,
watching.
turning to and going like, what do you think is happening with that couple?
Guy or that couple. I love it too. I love doing that. Bro, when we go out sometimes, and Anya and I go out sometimes, we were in Dubai and we were at that Sephora. And I walked in and there was a long queue. So I walked in and Anya was standing in the queue. So at one point I just walked up to a Filipino lady and I said, excuse me, my wife wants to do the billing. Can you please help? Okay. Anya left the products and ran outside, bro. She said, why are you doing that?
That is the thing. They get very embarrassed. That's the thing. Like
I said I was speaking like an Arab. What's the problem? I said I was speaking like an Arab. He would have probably believed us and she would have believed us, or he would have, they would have built it quickly for us. Why did you get scared and run away? She said it's so embarrassing to be with you. Because sometimes I'll be thinking of something and the accent will just come out, bro.
I wanted to ask you this. Has there been an accent that has been hard for you to get, or like a way of speaking that's been a little harder?
The thing is, I haven't done too much of Europe. So it's French and all that stuff. I haven't really focused and heard them too much. But I think that's something that I would like to pick up. Parts of Europe, I think, would be great fun to pick.
But that's no problem. You come Mother Russia, just have vodka. It's fine.
You just sit down with a little glass of water and just enjoy yourself. And you think that you're better than everybody else, and that's how you do the French.
And then
it's so good. This guy does a great French accent. This guy does a great French accent. But like, like when I was in Singapore, for example, they have a particular way of speaking and you actually spend time and you get it, bro. If you 2-3 days, 2-3 days, that la comes. It comes. 2-3 days and then you're okay. Then you're fine. Then I get it.
Like, you were talking about Sephora, right? Sorry, I had to add to that story. On my honeymoon, Nikita's gone to Sephora, okay? She's shopping and it's been a while. So then I go and she's still doing her thing. And I get bored. Like, abhi kya bolu? "ठीक है, yeah, you try it, then I'll come. I have to entertain myself. I don't want to go elsewhere." So I said, fuck, I'll do a Vicky video with Vicky at Sephora. Okay, so usually she'll try on her stuff and she'll say, "How's this looking?" That at one point she can't see me. She's wondering where the fuck I am. And I'm there with the security guard. "Oh, sir, I'm also at Sephora." And she said, "What the?" She thought that the security guard is throwing me out. I said, no, that's the Wiki script where I come
This
and
is
do it
a
and the
setup.
guard throws me out. It's already set up. And she actually thought the fucking guard was throwing me out. Sorry. Coming back to the characters and
Yeah,
accent.
so accents. So no, I mean, I would like to do some European accents. Hopefully, I'll travel and spend some time and maybe get something from there. Otherwise, no, yeah, it's been largely, I mean, whoever I've met, like, I do a pretty decent Chinese accent, like, like Chinese people accent. Because, when my mom, again, when she used to run stores, Huawei used to be where the current Leela Palace is, the hotel. They used to have an office there, and all of them would stay at Diamond District, this apartment. And my mom used to run a store in the N block basement, and the Chinese guys would come. So I grew up listening to them, interacting with people. So I feel like today when I have to do an accent, or I have to do a type of person, or when I have to do, like, just imagine one certain person, right? The moment a wig comes on and there's like a mustache,
Yeah.
you have to imagine, right, what this guy will be like.
Yeah.
I think it just comes, bro. It just comes. Like today, I was doing something like a DJ today.
What accent is that?
What's
DJ
the
is very
DJ
like,
accent?
yo man, bro.
He's just
It's
sitting.
very,
Yeah, it's just like,
sitting
okay,
there,
he's having
like,
dinner and like,
bro, I'm just a DJ, bro. And like, I like music. I don't know. It's just in my head something. I don't know what. I've met
That's
DJs,
what the
they
DJ
largely pleasant people, DJs, but I don't know. I just did this. I don't know why I did that. I don't know
Largely,
why I
It's
did
like,
that.
beta, kata theek se pakdo. No, mom, I need to eat like this.
Yeah. I mean, DJs are largely pleasant, I feel. I've never met a DJ who has a bad personality.
Yeah, it's just they make you put your hands up too much. It's like, dude, I want to sit down peacefully. No, put your hands up. No, dude, I don't want to.
Sit, yeah.
Dude,
So I
but
was
do
doing a
you
DJ.
find it tough to navigate? Like, earlier, if you had to, like, now we just do the Russian accent, just like that. Like,
Yeah.
but in today's climate, does it get a little like, oh, I have to be tiptoe around it. It shouldn't come across racist, or oh, will people like it? Oh, am I just getting laughs because I'm doing the accent and the joke in itself is not funny? Like, do you think all of these things, or do you just like fuck it and go ahead and do it?
Varun, I'll tell you honestly, and I'll be honest with y'all, I can't lie to y'all. There are videos where I'm just blind running on the fact that the accent will work. There is no real material in it, right? There is no real material in it. And I'm just running with the fact that, okay, this accent might just stick and it'll fly with that. And I know those videos, right?
Yeah.
But largely today, I feel the internet and the audience, I think they've seen so many people, right? And there are so many guys doing so much content and so brilliant. I feel like people have kind of understood the difference between something that's written and not. And I feel like they want to see something that's a unique perspective that you bring to the table.
Right.
They just don't want to see an accent alone. They want to see earlier on when we started, honestly, if you could do 10 accents, you were probably the first person doing it, or you were the only person doing it. But now I feel like it's evolved to a point where people don't mind if the accent is wrong. So long as the material you're saying is funny, then they enjoy that.
In fact,
I was in drama school and I loved doing the Italian accent where I'm messing about and I'm like, hey, everybody, let's go have a pizza. And then I'm doing that. And there's an Italian in our class. So one of the British kids told me, don't do that in front of him. He's going to get offended. Oh, so the white guy is going to get offended at the brown guy. Basically, it just became like, really, are you going to get into this conundrum with me? Who's going to get more offended at what? So I think when you're doing European accent, I think it's no holds barred. I think we've got a blanket license to make fun of these people and anybody who colonized any other country.
And bro, I don't understand, bro.
Angle on it.
He's taking a revolution, sir.
It's like, why do you how do you get offended? That's the thing. Like, just fucking like let us. You've been doing brown face and doing Indian accent in the hello everybody for years. That's been happening for years. Now, acha, hum log kar rahe hain, so now you've got a problem. Now this is a problem. It's problematic.
Danish, remember when we did? So Danish and I did his show together, which was Humble Politician Nograj. And there was a time
that's true.
when we are on set, we're obviously having a great time. It was a full madcap show, anything goes. And I had to do this monologue, but in an Italian accent. Do you remember?
Italian,
It
yeah.
was
You did that
probably
also.
yeah, it probably one of the most fun things I've had to shoot for, because we were obviously making fun of a certain politician. Now, how to bring that forward? We are going to use a Italian
I'm glad.
accent.
I'm so, I'm sorry my battery died. I'm so glad that the show went on Woot and nobody could find out the number of fucking cases. Oh shit. Yeah.
So that is the thing I would ask you was, so we're all part of this first crop of internet content creators, right? And I think back in the day, like you said, very simple to if you had content and you put it on the internet, people would be like just amazed. Oh fuck, there's content. Right now, way more content creators, a lot more voices, perspectives, etc. Like, is there something, if you were starting out today, what would you do differently?
I think one thing for a fact is you need to just be uniquely you. I think you can't copy someone. You can't try and be that somebody else is, because if there's no authenticity, people don't want you, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing that I have managed to understand till now. Yeah. The more honest you are to who you are and what your personality is. Like I was explaining to someone, I did films, okay, and yes, I have worked with some very good people, very good names, but when I was doing solo, right, like as a lead, when I was doing movies in Kannada by myself, I don't think I got the kind of response or adulation that one would hope to have, right? And I remember kind of thinking, why isn't that happening? Or why didn't, say, a television happen? Or, why am I only suited to a mobile phone? Like, why are people okay to see me in this format, but not in a larger format?
Mm-hmm.
Very
Right?
interesting. Huh.
And the only thing I can tell you is that, bro, I think the audience decides, bro. I think the fundamental that the audience decides on all three mediums is just the simple truth of anything that you do with visual medium and visual storytelling.
But like, what do you think is the difference between a Instagram star, a television star, and a movie star? Like, what do you think is the...
I mean, the scale, right? You're talking about mass. You're talking about cinema is mass, right?
Yeah.
But like, is there an intrinsic quality, a superstar quality that is...
100%. You have to acknowledge those who have it, really have it, bro. If you ask even the most successful actor, can I do all your films and be as successful as you? I don't think that will happen. I think certain people are just destined, and the audience tends to like them. You know what I'm saying? The audience will pay money to come and watch Aadar, Varun, me at some show. They'll come watch us, and you sell 1,000 tickets, 2,000 tickets, whatever that is. They like watching us. At the same time, if an actor says, "I'm going to be selling tickets, come watch," they might not go and watch.
Yeah.
I won't be surprised if they do also, because either public पहुंच जाता है सीधा.
No, but I'm saying, see, a superstar doesn't have to sell tickets, bro. He just has to say, "I'm coming." All come, right?
But an actor,
Yeah, an actor. And at the same time, an actor who says, "See, I'm doing a theater play. Would you like to come watch?" More people will go see that there, right? More people will go see that, gentleman or that lady there. And I feel like with cinema also, there's a certain quality. I really haven't been able to explain it. I'll give you a great example of that, right? I did a movie called Malaikottai Vaaliban with Mr. Mohanlal and...
Yeah, bro. Firstly, congratulations on that. To get to share screen space with Mohanlal.
Yeah, I mean, is
incredible.
Iconic, bro. It's too iconic, and I was very lucky to have that opportunity. And honestly, thanks to Lijo, who's one of the most exciting filmmakers in this country right now. I worked with.
Yeah.
I did everything in my right. I legit did everything in my right. For 3 months, I was propped up in Jaisalmer and Pokhran. I had my head half shaved, my beard half shaved, and I did everything in my right to commit myself and do that thing as an actor. And I couldn't make content because half my face was gone. I was stuck. And I decided to do it. But when the film came out, in your head, you're told these stories, right? That you do a movie with the superstar, and you see what will happen next.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then I waited. It took 1 year. It's taken 1 year for another call to come now, which I'm discussing, saying, "Hey, would you like to do something?" But
Yeah.
maybe I sometimes attribute it maybe I don't have the kind of quality that generates more work with people. I don't know how to put it. You know what I mean? Maybe I don't have the quality.
Mm.
And it's okay to accept, right? Like it's like I enjoy speaking to sports people. I really enjoy talking
Yeah.
to them.
Yeah.
Not the ones who's made it. There are so many who've not made it as well.
Mm.
And when you
Correct.
see them, you realize that I used to be very good at zonal. I used to be very good at district, and there are certain people who've taken Rohit Sharma's wicket also on this podcast.
Yeah.
But Rohit Sharma is playing for India, right? And those certain people are doing a podcast. So I'm saying it's differential, but you accept it, right? Like you accept it and say, okay, fine, I'm not ready to play at that level. I will play this level, but I will play it well wherever I am, and you're changing my profession. So when I see people like Varun, I'm saying, it's very good that you didn't chase the thing that's so elusive, and instead decided to become something else and still make it your own.
It's such a nice way to say तू कितने audition किया जो तेरे को मिले नहीं है, but तू फिर भी लगा हुआ है. No, I appreciate that. It's actually true. What you're saying is bang on.
What I liked about what you just said, all the stuff you just said, like you have a very strong idea of who you are. And I think that translates so cleanly, like in the content you're doing. You know what I mean? Like that thing that you said about authenticity, 100%. Like I feel like nowadays, like you see some of the content that's being written and produced and put out, and it doesn't have the authenticity that you would find in a Reddit post. You know what I mean? In a single Reddit post, there is more emotion, more authenticity, more reality than there is in stuff that's being written and produced. And I think that people today have so much more options, so many more like ways of actually interacting with content that matters to them and to someone who's making it, rather than some formal this thing. So like you can see it all happening. It's so true.
With your thing also, like I've seen how you've also made it broad but also niche, because you get like the nuances of, like, even if you have to just look from the southern part of India, you're able to do 4 different characters that cater to 4 different
dialects,
states and
completely
dialects.
States, dialects, languages. So it's just you just realize how much.
But don't you think like niche is one of the ways to go nowadays? Because you like you said, there is one where you obviously want to attract everybody, all 100. But there are times when it's not happening. So you're like, listen, I'm going to narrow in my focus. I'm going to start here first, give all of it, and then obviously get better at it, and then like keep exploring. Is that something you thought of, or like when you were doing your characters, that I'll go niche, hyper niche first?
No, to be honest, I've only understood what I do now in the last few years. See, I would see all you guys on YouTube and this and that, and see how you are doing stand-up. And I would be so amazed. In fact, even now, right? I don't do stand-up, but when I see you all do it, I'm so amazed. I'm like, fuck, how did this guy do this? Like, how is this guy thinking like this? But for me, what I realized was I'm unapologetically from Bengaluru. I was born here, I was raised here, I will die here. Right? And I love this city. And this city has shaped me to be the person that I am. So I do my content, irrespectively, I get a little bit of Bengaluru into it. I tell brands as well when I meet them, they'll have a tagline which is in Hindi. And I'm like, but it doesn't cut it here, It doesn't cut it here. Here it's either you say it in Kannada or you say it in English. Have a Hindi line, but I'm like, how can you make it local, bring it here. Correct. Bring it here, right? So, I mean, of course, there are national brands that come and then you have to do what their campaign is. But I'm saying that I don't mind using Kannada in a brand video. I don't mind, like I'll give you an example, right? I'm working with I did a video with a quick commerce brand. And we kind of went into a nostalgia of 1980s in this city. And there was a Rajkumar film called Hosa Bedaku, which means new light. So we kind of, we did that. Then we showed, we've shot a drive-in theater. We've shot that movie. We've said, how he was watching that film. So it's very local, but at the same time, to somebody watching, at least they're interested in saying, okay, what was 1980s like? In Bangalore, we were not there, but what was it like? There's something that kind of is still authentic to the fact that I'm from, and I feel that the moment you try sitting in Delhi and saying, I'll dictate what happens in the South also, I'll shape culture up north, best everywhere. I feel like that's where today what's happening is people are becoming more.
Yeah, it's become hyper local. Like you want to attract this because there's so many like intricate nuances of that place that when you express it in that particular language, being a person from that specific place, it resonates even higher. Like your Nags, for example, that thing with RCB. What a brilliant like coming together of two very authentic things from Bangalore. But do you think that's one of the main reasons why they've not won the trophy? That the fact that you've been there last time?
Nograj. No.
In my defense, the first year I was there in 2014, made it to the playoffs. And 2014 or 15, I think. Just check. I remember CSK defeating us in Ranchi. And it was first time to Ranchi. I'd never been to Ranchi. And I was very heartbroken. I remember just sitting outside one of the, you go out of the stadium, there are steps, right? I remember being there, sitting down, very sad. And I had a friend called Kalveer, who's still a very good friend. Kalveer, I remember him putting his hand on my shoulder and saying, I've seen this for a few years now, come, let's go. Then I didn't know that I ended up also seeing it for so many years,
Yeah.
But in my defense, the team after that made it to the finals. We played against Sunrisers Hyderabad. Unfortunately, we lost. I wish we had made it that year. Then we made it to many playoffs. Yeah, even last
year I was supporting RCB because Mumbai to fucked off long time back. So I was full RCB. We were there for a show and it was RCB playing Chennai. I remember. Yeah, that was the uncensored karne gaye the. So we were fully rooting, fully.
I'll tell you the hysteria around the team in this city. And how much the team means to the people of Bengaluru is crazy. I remember during COVID, one of the days I remember driving and masks were compulsory at that time if you had 3 people in the car or 2 people or something like that. And I wasn't wearing a mask. Anya was sitting next to me and somebody else behind, and we were not wearing masks or something like that had happened. One of us was not wearing. So the cop stopped us and said, I'll fine you. So then I said, sir, sorry, this, that, whatever. He's doing his job. You have to pay the fine and go. So he said, okay, fine, we'll pay it. So he billed us, instead of 3 people, he billed us for 2 people. So I said, how come this discount? He said, I'm giving you this discount, but next time make sure the team wins the trophy. If they don't, so then we laughed and said, okay, thank you, sir, and we left, But I'm saying that unfortunately they haven't won, but they've actually played very well, Like I get messages from people saying, this is the playing 11, please tell the team.
Wow. But bro, I'll tell you one thing, you're honestly living like the cricket person's dream, right? Like a cricket fan's dream. You yourself are a cricket fan, right? You're getting to work with the team of your choice. And you're also not having to sort of dumb down or change your brand of humor, because I feel like RCB social media, in my opinion, is like top. It's like right up there. All the other franchises are sort of trying to figure how we can emulate that, and which is in the large part thanks to how well Nags has worked. Where you've not changed that character. It's rooted from Bengaluru, and that really sort of throws the thing to the team as well. Like the team almost looks like, it's a lot more chilled and fun now because of these things that y'all have been doing together for so long. So it's
I think even these guys, I think social media wise, all the right now, if you see CSK, MI,
so they started picking up. None of the social medias were of different franchises were like fully doing up there what RCB was, in my opinion. And it's not just Nags. I'm saying like the overall vibe of the
You know,
thing, the fanfare that it has.
I think RCB were the first adopters of YouTube, if I'm right.
Yeah, possibly.
Of YouTube, I think. And they have a fantastic set of people who run the business. Very smart, very sort of savvy, and very at the same time very chill. I think even when we started with Mr. Nags, the Nikhil Sosle is a very close friend. He heads business for RCB. Back in the day, I remember Nikhil just showing me a clip of Sacha Baron Cohen as Ali with the NBA teams. And
Yeah.
he had actually seen me at an improv show, and my prank calls were on. So he put kind of two and two together and then said,
Oh,
"Why
wow.
don't you sing like this?" And I said, "Sure." And that's how Nags came about. And from there to now, I feel like it's just kind of, honestly, I myself can't believe that it's lasted for such a long time, and it's something that people actually look forward to during a season.
You technically become the mascot for the team, na? Like this unofficial, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, digitally, yeah, the people like watching it. I think it softens the blow. Sometimes it also makes people laugh, and terrifying moments that we're losing. People like a little bit of tongue in cheek. So I think they enjoy it. And also, you said we've never won the trophy. We did with WPL. I'm very, very happy about that. I was on the ground, and I remember actually having tears in my eyes, and everybody, Nikhil crying. I remember Rajesh is the boss. Even he was crying. Everybody was crying. It was very emotional for all of us to see your trophy. It was great.
No, but like you worked with like so many of these big cricketers. You're like very pally with Virat Kohli. So tell us, what does he smell like? What is his day like? Like, what does he do?
See,
and why is he not leaving balls outside off stump? Like, can you answer these questions?
That last one, I wouldn't be able to answer, nor would I be able to question, because I've never played cricket even at the school level. And I think it's best for the professionals to do what they do. In terms of what Virat is like, honestly telling you, there are very few people who are kind of, you look at some people and you go, wow, like, you're all of these in one. I think that is what makes him very special. And, one thing that I've realized about him over a period of time is a thorough professional, which is phenomenal, because the amount of engagements and commitments he has. During season, off season, playing cricket, practicing, all of that stuff. I mean, the way he manages those 24 hours in a day is kind of crazy, to be honest with you. And everybody experiences it, right? Everybody sees it from the outside and wonders, how is this guy doing it? I've actually seen it happen. And the
Like, for
speed.
example?
I'll tell you, right? I'll give you an example, right? You're shooting an ad, you have you need to wrap it up quickly, be it just learning lines and just doing the lines.
Yeah.
Or, sort of being at a practice session when nobody else is there. Or when the team is around and actually playing. Or being there, at a team event and making sure that, you bring people together. And I'm not saying all this, it's not like, I'm talking about some, he's very good, our MD sir, he really does. It's not like that. Those old companies and all, they'll talk about MD sir. So good, he will only sing, he will only dance. It's not like that. He's genuinely very skilled. And over and above that, I feel like he just meets all the times. I've never come across a situation where anybody has had to wait for him to come and do something. He's on time. 4:00.
Very unique for an Indian celebrity. Very unique.
Bro, the complete change in culture that he got to the sport and to our team in general. If you look at 2013,
just the
14,
basic kind
15,
of fitness, just
16,
how
17,
everybody approached
where
it. Yeah.
he was just going up like that. Okay, it became so this that when you put the TV on and like he scored a century, you would not even be like, "Ha, theek hai na, Virat hai." Of course, it became so. He made like those levels of excellence so normal and so everyday that we tend to forget all the insane shit that he has done. Like, if he sort of falters a little bit, people are all, oh, Virat ye, Virat wo. but they completely forget what that guy has done to fundamentally change, I feel, how our team approaches the game. Fitness, diet, just
Aggression.
attitude. I think it was a very, like, he's a genre and era defining player, obviously, but also the thing that he has done for the sport in the country. I think.
At
Like,
this point, sorry.
Sorry, I was just going to say, see, I'll tell you, there are very few people who come and capture the imagination of a nation.
yeah.
You can count them on your fingertips, actually. And with that much popularity, to still say, okay, I'll sit down, I'll take a joke. Also, he's very funny. Like a lot of the interviews, what I say is funny, of course, but if he doesn't play along, if he doesn't co-opt, I mean, we do improv, right? All of us, if he doesn't take the scene forward,
Then doesn't work.
it's going to go nowhere. So I feel like there's also, a great sense of sort of awareness. So it's good. He's a good guy, man. He's a good guy. I experienced my first earthquake with RCB.
Is that a metaphor, or did you really experience an earthquake?
Really, bro. We were in Ahmedabad, okay. And this was, I think, 15 only, I think. 15. And I was in the bathroom. And suddenly, it started shaking like that. I'd never experienced it. Then I went out and I saw on glass also water is going like that. And I knew something's wrong, a little bit like that it was, shaky. I opened the door and saw outside, bro, Alan Donald and all is running in bathrobe down. Then I looked, I said, what happened? Something happened. So one guy yelled, saying, earthquake, Bhago, run. Then I quickly went, took my stuff and I ran down then. Then it was a small minor one, but the first earthquake that I experienced was with everybody, like the whole support staff and everyone. We were on a different floor. Then all of us are standing down. Then after some time, they said, go up. Fun things have happened. Yeah, I think shooting with RCB, I've actually had great times. I've met so many players.
Like, how do you get them at ease? Because I remember there was that World Cup ad that you did, where you were doing the news reporter guy and you had captains of, firstly, like the pressure of you have to now do it with the captain of every team. And there was some tongue-in-cheek jokes and all of that. So like how do you get them to be so chill? Like, is it you? Is it them on their own? Or do they all have a sense of humor and they get along regardless of who's doing it?
No, they're all largely very chill people. They're all fun and they all laugh. There was India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, 3 teams. Indian team, of course, all our boys were there. They were all chill, all came, had fun. And media day, what happens, Varun? Basically, they slot it in. And they say that 5 people will be made available to you for this amount of time. And parallelly, there'll be another photo shoot happening, another video shoot happening. So they just come in rotation. One person will come and then they'll go. What happened with us is we had written a script in such a way that we didn't need a player for more than 10 seconds or 15 seconds. They would just come 10, 15 seconds and go. As a result, what happened? The ones who are not there also said, what is happening there? We'll also come.
Correct.
Oh, nice.
So they also came and we had lines written. So then we basically did all of those. With the Pakistan and Bangladesh team, actually, I didn't know anyone there. I had no idea how they'd react. I had no idea. But they were also okay, bro. They came, they did their thing. And then, there was no tension as such. Then did it, then stitched it together. It was great fun. I think the way to put them at ease is, firstly, you should know what you want to do.
Yeah, of course.
You should first know what you want to achieve. Then you can explain it to somebody else.
Yeah. Dude, that makes that 100%. Like, when we were doing this World Cup show, so we had Ambati Raidu, we had Piyush Chawla, we had Bhaji, and we had Srisant. Okay, so these were the 4, and Ishan Sharma. So they would rotate and all of that. And when you go in, you're always like, "Arey yaar, shit, what will they say? Will they be okay?" Because you hear horror stories before, and इनको ये मत पूछना, इनको ये मत बोलना, वो ऐसा नहीं करना. And then you actually go and you chill with them, you realize they're all fun.
But watching a match with them is something else, because they are
watching a match with them is something else.
Out nahi. And just the confidence with which they're just going, and it takes 20 seconds for it to all catch up. It's like, nahi, out nahi. And just sitting there, chilled out, he just know, it's like the amount of experience they have. and just to watch, like sitting next to them, you're just like, kya? They were just doing this throughout.
I had
Actually,
heard
that
stories
is
about.
true.
Sorry, you go ahead.
No, he's right. Actually, watching a cricket match with them,
Bro, it's the
with
best
them,
experience.
it
It's
is
the
it is
best
actually
experience.
very good because these guys actually know exactly what is going to happen. Like they'll say also, see now the fielder's there, he'll give a catch now. Correct, it'll get out, bro. I've seen it. I'm like, how do you know this? And they're like, this is what we
Yes.
did all our life, right?
Yes.
It's so good. It's interesting actually. It's good.
Dude, we were
Yeah,
sitting and
that's true.
watching the World Cup game, and Anil Kumble is sitting there. Okay, Anil Kumble. Half the time you're just like looking at him like, how is he
Him.
reacting to what is going on? Okay, some
Yeah.
spinner was bowling, and he's like, why is he doing that? He should do this. Literally in that over, I don't know how he must have heard Anil Kumble because that sound has gone apparently to the player there. He has done the exact same thing. The batsman has done the exact same thing, and exactly what he predicted happened in a fucking
Happened.
cricket. And you're just
Yeah.
there in amazement sitting next to these guys knowing why they are as great as they are. That was incredible. Like with Bhaji, people have said a lot. Arey nahi, Bhaji pa thoda gusse mein rehte hai, Bhaji pa ye, this, that.
Very
So
fun.
we were a bit like on the back foot that, how will we say? So when he came in first, we were very like, actually aisa hoga, fir ye hai. And we are not anybody that he knows of. He's literally found out about our existence the first time we've met. By the end of that, he has gone into Star Sport. मेरे को उधर मत डालो, मेरे को इन लोगों के साथ रहने. Because there they actually get to be a version of themselves that they truly are. And when there's not that much pressure on them, you realize all these guys are fucking hilarious. They're damn good and very chill, cooperative.
See, the one thing I wanted to say was, I think honestly, that World Cup video also that you mentioned, I think a large part of it also goes to the fact that RCB kind of gave me the platform. The fact that there was Virat's acceptance, the fact that there was AB de Villiers, Chris Gale, something that hadn't been done, they were the first to take it. I feel like that kind of spread within the cricket universe, and then, for
To get that
everything else
stamp
to
of
align and
approval.
come together. Yeah, it's that. So I think that as much as I, as much as there's craft and skill, I also feel like with the right kind of stamp of approval that you get, I feel like that also makes making easy content. It makes content creation a lot easier.
Correct. True. All right. On that Peak Bengaluru moment, that's the end of this episode of the Internet Set. So we were chatting with our homeboy from Bangalore, Danish. Danish, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you had fun. Is there anything you'd like to promote? Any of your shows coming up? Any movies you want to talk about?
No? Nothing, bro. Honestly telling you, I'm just very happy to spend time with, you, Aadar and Kautuk. I think that was the real reason I wanted to do this because, I'm guessing, it's true to what the nature of your podcast is. Because if you were sitting down like this at home, we would have probably had the same conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
We would have had the same conversation. So I think that doing this has been great fun. Thanks for having me, and I hope that you guys will come home soon. Come home.
Oh, bro, you don't have to ask us. We just show up. The minute we find out anybody has more than 800 square feet space, we fucking just show up. And can you do us a favor? Okay, guys, everybody watching, please buy tickets to our show. The ticket links are below. Also, people living outside of India, we are trying to come to your country that you currently reside in. That's Toronto, that's US, that's Australia. So there's going to be a form at the bottom as well. Please fill it in so we know how many people are there who are interested in watching us, and then we can book tickets and plan venues accordingly. All the links, everything is in the pinned comment. Danish, can you just say subscribe to TIS, but in one of your character tones or voices?
Subscribe to
TIS. Subscribe to TIS. We are called TIS for short. So subscribe.
Oh, that's the show, is it? Okay.
What is the Internet Set? So is TIS.
Oh, okay. Please, this is Uncle Nags here. If you are really wanting enjoyment, kindly subscribe to the TIS. Sorry,
the TIS.
TIS.
Awesome, man. This was great, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again next week. Until then, it's goodbye. Take care. Tata. Salamesh. Can you also do it in Bevarsi Gudka? I fucking love Bevarsi Gudka.
Yeah, hey, Gamma, if you are wanting subscribing, please subscribing to TIS. Nama, please subscribe into Tis friends. Tis.
Nama podcast. Nama comment in the podcast.
Also trust snake, not girl, because snake also says Tis.
He's all come namde.
Perfect. Nice. We got a good ending also.
Yeah.
Super.